Dakshinamurti Stotram. Dakshinamurti Stotram we will chant first. Maunavyakhya prakatita parabrahmatattvam yuvanam varshishthante vasadrishi ganayiravritam brahmanishtaihi आचार्येन्द्रम् करकलितचिन्मुद्रमानन्दरूपम् स्वात्मा रामम् मुदितवदनम् दक्षिणामूर्तिमीडे वटविटपि समीपे भूमिभागे निषण्णम् सकलमुनिजनानाम् ज्ञानदातारमारात् त्रिभुवन गुरुमीशम् दक्षिणामूर्तिदेवम् जनन मरण दुःखच्छेददक्षम् नमामि चित्रम् वटतरोर्मूले वृद्धा शिष्या गुरुर्युवा गुरोस्तु मौनव्याख्यानम् शिष्यास्तु छिन्न संशयाः निधये सर्वविद्यानाम् भिषजे भवरोगिणाम् गुरवे सर्वलोकानाम् दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः ॐ नमः प्रणवार्थाय शुद्धज्ञानैकमूर्तये निर्मलाय प्रशान्ताय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः विश्वम् दर्पणदृश्यमाननगरी तुल्यम् निजान्तर्गतम् पश्यन्नात्मनि मायया बहिरिव भूतम् यथा निद्रया यः साक्षात् कुरुते प्रबोधसमये स्वात्मानमेवाद्वयम् तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये बीजस्यान्तरिवाङ्कुरो जगदिदम् प्राङ्निर्विकल्पम् पुनः मायाकल्पितदेशकालकलना वैचित्र्यचित्रीकृतम् मायावीव विजृम्भयत्यपि महा योगी वयस्वेच्छया तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये यस्यैव स्फुरणम् सदात्मकमसत्कल्पार्थगम् भासते साक्षात्तत्त्वमसीति वेदवचसा यो बोधयत्याश्रितान् यः साक्षात्करणाद्भवेन्न पुनरावृत्तिर्भवाम्भो निधौ तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये नानाच्छिद्रघटोदरस्थितमहा दीपप्रभाभास्वरम् ज्ञानम् यस्य तु चक्षुरादिकरणद्वारा बहिः स्पन्दते जानामीति तमेव भान्तमनुभत्येतत्समस्तम् जगत् तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये देहम् प्राणमपीन्द्रियाण्यपि चलाम् बुद्धिम् च शून्यम् विदुः स्त्रीबालान्धजडोपमास्त्वहमिति भ्रान्ताभृशम् वादिनः मायाशक्तिविलासकल्पितमः व्यामोहसंहारिणे तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये राहुग्रस्तदिवाकरेन्दुसदृशो मायासमाच्छादनात् सन्मात्रः करणोपसंहरणतो यो भूत्सुषुप्तः पुमान् प्रागस्वाप्समिति प्रबोधसमये यः प्रत्यभिज्ञायते तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदम् श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये बाल्यादिष्वपि जाग्रदादिषु तथा सर्वास्वस्थास्वपि व्यावृत्तास्वनुवर्तमानमहमित्यन्तःस्फुरन्तम् सदा स्वात्मानम् प्रकटीकरोति भजताम् मुद्रया भद्रया तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदम् श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये विश्वम् पश्यति कार्यकारणतया स्वस्वामि सम्बन्धतः शिष्याचार्यतया तथैव पितृपुत्राद्यात्मना भेदतः स्वप्ने जाग्रति वा य एष पुरुषो मायापरिभ्रामितः तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदम् श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये भूरम्भांस्यनलो निलोऽम्बरमहर्नाथो हिमांशुः पुमान् इत्याभाति चराचरात्मकमिदम् यस्यैव मूर्त्यष्टकम् नान्यत्किञ्चन विद्यते विमृशताम् यस्मात्परस्माद्विभोः तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदम् श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये सर्वात्मत्वमिति स्फुटीकृतमिदम् यस्मादमुष्मिम् स्तवे तेनास्य श्रवणात् तदर्थमननात् ध्यानाच्च सङ्कीर्तनात् सर्वात्मत्वमहाविभूतिसहितम् स्यादीश्वरत्वम् स्वतः सिद्धेस्तत्पुनरष्टधा परिणतम् चैश्वर्यमव्याहतम् The text Atmabodha supposed to be written by Adi Shankaracharya himself is known as a Prakarana Grantha. Prakarana Grantha is any auxiliary text or any supporting text written by any Acharya for understanding the main text of Vedanta. The main text of Vedanta is the Upanishad themselves. That is the Moola Grantha. For which the author is unknown, because Upanishad belongs to Vedas and the author of the Vedas is unknown. And if at all we have to know the author, we have to call the Lord alone as the author. Therefore, the Moola Grantha doesn't have any author. That's why we call it Apaurusheya Grantha. Apaurusheya means that which is not given out by a human intellect. Purusha Buddhi Janyam Na. Whereas Prakarana Granthas are Paurusheya Granthas. They are written by Acharyas with the aim of clarifying the original text. The Prakarana Granthas are twofold. Some of them happen to be introductory Granthas, which are studied before the Upanishad, like Tattvabodha or Atmabodha, or even to some extent Viveka Chudamani, Laghu Vasudeva Mananam, Atmanatma Vivekaha. There are so many Prakarana Granthas which give the whole picture of Vedanta in a simple manner. Elaborate arguments are avoided. The other systems of philosophy are not discussed. It is like spoon feeding for an LKG student. There are other set of Prakarana Granthas which come after the study of Upanishad, which are meant to stabilize the Upanishadic teaching. And therefore, lot of arguments are involved. Every Upanishadic idea is questioned. And other systems of philosophies are taken into account, Sankhya, Nyaya, and even other interpretations of Vedanta are taken, like Vishishtadvaitic interpretation, Dvaitic interpretations of Vedanta, and then all other systems of philosophy are dismissed, and all other interpretations are also dismissed. These also are done by Prakarana Granthas. But these are studied after studying the Upanishad. Those Prakarana Granthas are called Nyaya Granthas or Siddhi Granthas. Ishta Siddhi, Advaita Siddhi, Brahma Siddhi, so many Siddhi Granthas are there. They are very advanced text. Most of the time, logic alone will be there. These are the two types of Prakarana Granthas. And Atmabodha happens to be the first type of Prakarana Granthas. Therefore, we need not be frightened. And it is a little bit more advanced than Tattvabodha. And therefore, I chose this text due to two reasons. Because in a camp, we find we have a peculiar type of audience. From all different classes, students come. So there are some students who have only just joined for Alvarpet Gita class, 3 months old babies are there. And we have got students, including Panchadashi students, who have even studied Brahma Sutra, PhD students. So it is a mixture of both. And Atmabodha is a peculiar book which caters for both type of students. So there are the fundamental ideas also clarified beautifully, and we get the whole picture of Vedanta, and some of the advanced important topics also are highlighted, which also we can study. And the second reason that I chose this text is this, that every important idea of Vedanta is clarified through an example. This is the uniqueness of Atmabodha. Almost all shlokas have got one example. The first two lines of the shloka will be the idea. The later two lines of the shloka will be example. Therefore, for every idea, you have got an example. Therefore, you can have the whole Vedanta through example. And therefore, if this Atmabodha is got by heart, it will be very, very useful, because any idea you want clarity, that shloka will help you. And unlike Viveka Chudamani, where there are long verses and sometimes the meters are also not very fine one. Prana, Pana, Vyana, Udana, Samana, Saprana. Swayameva vritti bhedat, vikriti bhedat, bhavatyasau pranaha. This is a slokam. Slokam mari irka. So some of them are shlokas, but they are vishama vrittas. Vishama vrittas means difficult meters. Therefore getting by heart, etc. is difficult, and it contains 500, 600 shlokas, also beyond our means. But Atmabodha contains only 68 shlokas. And all of them are in Anushtup meter. That means the simplest meter in Sanskrit. Thus, this is in simplest language. The fundamentals are given and examples are also there. And those people who have studied Tattva Bodha, for them it will be a reminder also. I know you have not forgotten, but still it will be reminding Tattva Bodha and building up a little bit further. Now the text is known as Atmabodha. We will see the meaning of this word. Atmabodha. Atma means Atma, the Swarupam of everyone. Atma literally means Swarupam, the content, the essence. Just as Mrid, the clay, is the Atma of the pot, Swarnam is the Atma of ornaments. Water is the Atma of waves, bubbles, ocean, rivers, etc. Similarly, the essence of everyone is called Atma. Various meanings are given for the word Atma. Yachapnoti yadadatte, yachati vishayaniha, yachasya santato bhavaha, tasmad atmeti kirtyate. The word Atma is derived from 4 different roots. One root is ap, to pervade. Therefore, apnoti iti Atma, that which pervades everyone as the essence. Just as clay pervades all pots as the essence, Atma is that which pervades everyone. Therefore, yat sarvam apnoti. The second meaning is yat adatte. Adatte means that which resolves everything into itself, the resolver. Just as clay, the essence, resolves all the parts into itself, just as water resolves all the waves into itself. Similarly, Atma resolves every anatma into itself at the time of pralayam. Therefore, it is called Atma, Adatte, derived from the root Ada, to take unto, to swallow, to resolve, to absorb. Then the third meaning is Atti iti Atma, derived from the root Ad, to eat. Ad. That means to experience. Thus, Atma is that essence, Chaitanyam, which experiences everything. Yena rupam, rasam gandham, shabdan sparshamscha maithunan, etenaiva vijanati, kim atra parishishyate. Which Upanishad? Sayandaram quizuk vechikarena. So, I will not ask you now. Yena rupam rasam gandham. I know you don't have Kathopanishad here, so you cannot go back and see. Oh. I said, right, it is Kathopanishad, all right. Yena rupam rasam gandham shabdan sparshamscha maithunan etenaiva vijanati kimatra parishishyate. That which experiences rupam, rasam, gandham, shabdam, sparsham. Therefore, yat atti bhoktru rupena upadrashtanumanta cha bharta bhokta maheshwara. Therefore, the third meaning is what? The experiencer, we can call witness. So, one, pervader, two, resolver, three, experiencer, and the fourth one is derived from at. Minnala adu. Adu. Idu at. Tamil எழுதுறதானா வித்தியாசம் தெரியாது. At ta. At satatya gamane, that which ever exists. Santato bhavaha, satatam asti, sada asti iti atma. Just as pot is born, the clay is, pot is resolved, clay is. Before the birth of pot also the clay is. So the pot comes and goes, clay ever exists. Similarly, Atma is that essence which exists whether the world comes or goes. And therefore the fourth definition is that which ever is, or that which is eternal. These are the four meanings of the Atma, and it is nothing but the very Chaitanyam, the awareness, the Swarupa Chaitanyam is called Atma. The word Bodhaha means knowledge. Bodhaha means knowledge. So now the question comes, Atma also is Chaitanyam, which is knowledge, awareness. Bodhaha also is knowledge, therefore awareness. So then Atmabodhaha means awareness awareness, punarukti dosha. Because Atma itself is Bodha Swarupam of the nature of knowledge. Bodha also means knowledge. Therefore, what is the difference between Atma, the knowledge, and Bodha, the knowledge? We say there is a difference. Atma also is called Bodha Swarupam of the nature of knowledge. You have to write capital K. It is of the nature of knowledge, the awareness, whichever is. But Atma, the knowledge, is the pure knowledge which doesn't have any objects. It is not the knowledge of man. It is not the knowledge of pot. It is not the knowledge of physics or chemistry or book or river or sun or moon. It is not an objective knowledge. It is a knowledge without any objects. It is objectless awareness. Which is common to all people, which is there in all living beings. So therefore, we call it as objectless awareness, in Sanskrit Swarupa Chaitanya. Whereas there is a second knowledge which is called objective knowledge. Here the knowledge is not the pure knowledge, but it is the knowledge of something. The previous one is objectless knowledge. This is the objected knowledge. This is my English, okay. Objective knowledge. That means it is the knowledge of something. It is a transitive verb, abstract noun of the transitive verb to know. I know, Shuna. What do you know, Kakramalya? Then you say, I know English, I know mathematics, I don't know German or Chinese. This objective knowledge is always born. It is not eternal knowledge. The Swarupa Jnanam is always there in people, whereas objective knowledge is something that is born whenever you learn something. For example, English knowledge is not there from beginningless time. English knowledge had an origin when you studied English. Similarly, the knowledge of a color was born when you operated your means, the eye. And therefore, the second knowledge is a Janya Jnanam. Janya Jnanam means a knowledge which has a beginning. The previous one is Ajanya Jnanam, Swarupa Jnanam. The objective knowledge is Janya Jnanam. And how is this knowledge born? Whenever you use an instrument of knowledge and know the object, like seeing an object through the eyes, hearing an object through the ears, These are all operation of a relevant instrument of knowledge. In Sanskrit we call it as pramanam. So when you use a pramanam towards an object which is called prameyam, at that time the prameyam or the image of the prameyam enters through your eyes or ears, and in your mind a vritti is formed, a vritti is born. Vritti means what? A thought is born. And what type of thought? A thought which is relevant to the objects. If ghataha is the object, the vritti is ghatakara vrittihi. If pataha is the object, patakara vrittihi. In short, tat tad vishaya akara vrittihi jayate. Jayate means born. And the moment vritti is born, the Swarupa Chaitanyam, which is